On this episode of City Focus, one of Valdosta's esteemed civil servants is honored. We give you a synopsis of the events of Georgia Cities Week. Valdosta's firefighters are picking up some new skills, and we'll tell which city events to plan for in May. These stories and more on this episode of City Focus. Welcome to City Focus. I'm Michael Hawkinson, Media Coordinator for the City of Valdosta. On Saturday, April 11th, the parking lot of Mathis Auditorium was the last stop for many electronics on their way to being recycled. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Valdosta's Public Works Department held the first of its two annual electronic recycling events. Citizens and businesses in the area brought a variety of electronics from DVD players to industrial copiers and hospital computers. For more information about the Spring's e-recycling event, I spoke with Director of Public Works, Richard Hardy.
The event was started to make sure that we can dispose of properly all electronic devices. These things take quite a long time to decompose in a landfill, so by recycling them, it could be torn apart and those items could be used to build other things. So the city took it upon themselves back in 2006 in partnership with Atlanta Recycle Solutions and Keep Lowndes and Valdosta Beautiful to take on this initiative.
The Public Works Department, in partnership with Keep Lowndes Valdosta Beautiful and Atlanta Recycling Solutions, hosts this event twice each year to prevent electronics from being disposed of in a manner that could harm the environment. The electronic recycling events help protect public health by keeping electronics out of landfills where they can contaminate groundwater with dangerous chemicals. For more information on these recycling events, and to find where you can dispose of electronics year-round, visit the Public Works page of valdostacity.com. That same day, citizens and city officials gathered between North Lee Street and North Troop Street to celebrate the renaming of the nearly 1,000-foot stretch of asphalt. The street received a new designation, Minnie Martin Drive, honoring one of Valdosta's esteemed residents.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
The portion of East Rogers Street was renamed to recognize Minnie Martin's life and contributions to Valdosta and Lowndes County. The newly labeled street includes Martin's ministry, where she has given constant support to neighbors, providing childcare, meals, prayer, and counsel. Martin also has a respectable political career which includes many milestones. She was the first black woman elected to Valdosta's Board of Education, serving from 1985 to 1990. And in 1992, she became the first female members of the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners. Martin spoke to us about how the city is honoring her during her lifetime.
I'm just honored to have this token of appreciation, and I think it's everybody else said, Minnie, you deserve it. And on behalf of the Mayor of Valdosta, the City Council family, and my friends, I just want to tell you that you matter, and I know I matter, because you have shown this to me. And I'm just proud tomorrow to know that I'm being honored and naming the street after me. And as I said to the council, give me my flowers while I yet live. They always say that they appreciate all that I've done in this community, how I've helped in this community, but I don't want to wait until death and then you're going to throw up a sign, name a building after me, and I don't need that. I need you to let me see how much you appreciate me.
The street renaming began as a petition from the area's residents and was approved without opposition at the January 9th City Council meeting. Ms. Martin is grateful to those who have appreciated all that she's done for the city.
Valdosta loved me. If nobody else loved me, I know Valdosta, Georgia loves Minnie Martin, and I love them with all my talent, with all all the singing I've done in my life, all the daycare I've done in my life, and the county commission, and all these type things. It wasn't just for a name. It was to help Valdosta, Georgia, and I did.
Partnering with the Annette Howell Turner Center of the Arts, the City of Valdosta is hosting the annual People's Choice Photo Contest. This is the 7th year that the contest has been running, and the idea is to capture the best of living in Valdosta. All citizens are encouraged to attend, and the deadline to enter the contest is Friday, May 29th. Various awards will be given out for each of the categories in the photo contest, from first place to honorable mention. A Best Overall and Show award will be for both the adult and youth in the competition. Voting will continue to go on after the opening reception on June 15th until July 15th. Amateur and professional photographers are encouraged to participate, and the application can be found online at the City of Valdosta's website, valdostacity.com. For more information, contact the Public Information Office at 229-259-3548. And before we go to our next break, we would like to announce that the Department of Community Affairs will be visiting Valdosta May 13th and 14th, marking the first time the board will meet in the Azalea City. While here, the members will be visiting local development projects that were funded by the DCA, such as the Ashley House and the Cranford Building, among others. The group will also visit some economic development engines in our community and will wrap up with some of the finest dining in the state in beautiful downtown Valdosta. The city thanks the DCA for their continued economic impact on our area, and stay tuned to Metro 17 during the break. City Focus will return right after these messages.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
The city and county have the opportunity to update flood maps using a system proposed at a recent event. For the full story, we go to City Focus reporter Paris Eccles.
On Monday, April 13th, LIDAR representatives spoke to an audience of Valdosta and Lowndes County employees to discuss how new technology can help with mapping the area. LIDAR, or Light Detection and Ranging, uses lasers to measure the base elevation of the Earth's surface. Other base elevation measurement techniques that have been used in the past involve imagery, which has been characterized as being less accurate. LIDAR presents Lowndes County with the opportunity to produce updated flood maps using laser technology. Chris Chalmers, Program Director of Woolpert, talked to us more about LIDAR.
LIDAR, the acronym itself, stands for Light Detecting and Ranging. Basically what that is it's a sensor, it's a laser sensor that we put into one of our airplanes, and it flies, it's basically an elevation LIDAR, right, or an elevation sensor. So it goes and flies along a plane, right, a flight path, and the laser shoots from the airplane down to the ground and measures the distance and the time that it takes goes from point A to point B and back. And that will give you a base elevation. Today's event was more of a kickoff meeting for the project that we're doing for Lowndes County. to collect elevation data for our NOAA contract. Lowndes County, as you well know, is a recipient of the data from NOAA through that contract. If I'm not mistaken, it's for flood mapping, to renew your guys' flood maps more accurately than they used to in the past. The way the flood maps were created with in the past were using imagery, and using lasers is a lot more accurate than using imagery to create flood boundaries. So basically it's to update your flood maps.
Further LiDAR applications include 3D modeling, archaeology, disaster management, airport mapping, aviation safety, land use mapping and planning, volumetric studies, electrical utilities, and transmission line corridor mapping. We also spoke with Kyle Schmidt, owner of Geoscience Consultants, a GIS consulting group based in South Carolina.
So in the past, LiDAR has really typically been collected to look at the ground, but in the future, the applications tend towards more features off the ground. So buildings and trees, and how can we look at the structures of the layers on top of the earth. So for example, if solar generation became an issue, and you could look at the different housetops and see what areas may generate solar better, or you could do a 3D viewshed of downtown Valdosta, and how that looks if we put a new building in over here. So it's really looking at what kind of things are going on above the Earth's surface.
For further information on LiDAR and its uses for Valdosta and Lowndes County, contact Emily Davenport at 229-259-3530.
Aging infrastructure can mean difficult repairs when it comes to Valdosta's underground pipelines. However, by using CIPP, the city is avoiding a few costly challenges. CIPP, or cured-in-place pipe, is a method of pipeline repair and rehabilitation that sidesteps the need to dig up trenches to reach the pipes. Using little to no digging makes the process even more cost-effective and less disruptive than traditional pipe repair techniques. David Frost, Assistant Utilities Director for the City of Valdosta, told us more about CIPP.
Basically what occurs with the CIPP lining is the liner itself. It's a PVC flexible liner, and it's coated with a certain type of epoxy. And what they do is they insert it in a given location, in this situation into a manhole. Most of them on this particular project will be going through a manhole. Insert it through the manhole, run it down through the pipe, and use water and a special machine to expand that liner inside the pipe. And what it does, it gives it a, once that expands in there, they put a seal in there and allow it to cure for a certain amount of time. And it's usually about 3 to 4 hours curing time. And once it's cured, they pull that out. The liner remains in place. The cured liner remains in place, and we're able to run sewage through it.
If you would like to know more about how Valdosta is utilizing CIPP, contact the city's utilities department at 229-259-3592. April 19th through the 25th mark Georgia Cities Week, a celebration of the services the municipal government provides for the quality of life of citizens. The City of Valdosta participated by hosting a variety of events each day of the week. On Monday, Mayor John Gale issued a proclamation stating April 20th as Americans with Disabilities Act Awareness Day. 2015 marks the 25th year of the ADA, which was established to protect the rights of all people with disabilities. The City Blood Drive was held on Tuesday at VFD's Fire Station 1. Thank you to all who attended and gave the gift of life. And Wednesday served as Job Shadow Day, where 25 Valdosta High School students followed city officials to learn about what they do for the city. The students, members of the school's AVID program, finished the day by giving presentations to mayor, council members, and staff during the city luncheon. And during Georgia Cities Week, the winners of the If I Were Mayor essay contest were announced at the April 24th City Council meeting. These local students submitted essays that combined their civic knowledge with their creative writing skills to describe what they would do as mayor of Valdosta. The winners are, in order of third to first, Beth Ann Thornton, Tyson Parker, and Abby Long, all from Valdosta Middle School. And on Friday of Georgia Cities Week, the City of Valdosta hosted a ribbon cutting for the new Valdosta Gateway on North Valdosta Road, which is already serving its purpose of welcoming citizens and guests to the city limits. The beautiful landscape, which includes 72 encore azaleas, 6 standard Natchez crepe myrtles, 6 saucer magnolias, 10 Nellie Stevens hollies, 6 Myrtle Dahoon hollies, 120 big blue liriope, was funded by a $19,490 Gateway grant from the Georgia Department of Transportation. The landscaping and the construction of the sign was accomplished by Valdosta's own engineering department. This is the first of 10 new gateways that the city plans to accomplish in the future as funding becomes available. For more information, contact the city's engineering department at 229-259-3530. And stick around, City Focus will return right after these PSAs.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to like, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Mid-April, Leadership Lounge was given a tour of multiple aspects of the municipal government, learning about the programs and services that the city provides its citizens. The tour began with an introduction from both Mayor John Gale and City Manager Larry Hansen, who spoke about the operations of the City of Valdosta. Later in the day, the group was taken to a nearby park where they were given demonstrations by the Valdosta Police Department. The tour group was shown how VPD's Tactical Operations Unit utilizes robotics in its strategies. They were also given a lesson about how police dogs are used to sniff out drugs, firearms, and explosives, and how they help subdue suspects. The final stop on Leadership Lounge's tour of the city was at the Valdosta Lounge Joint Crime Lab. There, the group learned about evidence analysis, from fingerprints to firearms, getting a more realistic lesson in crime scene investigation than a certain television program can provide. And if you would like to learn more about Leadership Lounge, be sure to visit the group's website at leadershiplounge.com. On the third week of the program, the members of Valdosta Government 101 Citizens Orientation were granted the opportunity to take a tour of Valdosta's water treatment plant. On the tour, members were shown the water testing lab where the liquid is tested to ensure it is safe for drinking. The class also heard from a handful of guest speakers, including Utilities Director Henry Hicks, Public Works Director Richard Hardy, City Engineer Pat Collins, and Corey Hull of the VLMPO. The current group of Government 101 will conclude the program with a graduation ceremony at City Hall on May 11th, 5:30 p.m. Call the Public Information Office at 229-259-3548 for more information about the program. Wiregrass Technical College has recently begun a partnership with the Valdosta Fire Department so a group of firefighters can be even more effective as first responders. The class focuses on teaching the firefighters the skills to serve as emergency medical technicians, allowing them to administer medical treatment should the situation arise. Teachers from Wiregrass come to the VFD Training Center, hosting classes while the firefighters are on their shifts. For more information, we spoke to Doug Pearson, the Wiregrass teacher overseeing this training.
The program right now lasts a quarter, which is 3 months, and then we're going to do another class in the fall. And what I teach them throughout the course is basic life-saving skills, airway management, trauma assessment, medical assessments, and how to recognize and treat those certain conditions in the populace.
This is important because we still need to remember 9/11, to remember the events that happened, and to honor the firefighters, the police officers, and the paramedics who lost their lives doing what we come to work to do every day. But it's also important to remember our firefighters, police officers, and paramedics that we still have working for us, to pay respect for them and show them how much we appreciate what they do and the sacrifices they make every day to protect and serve us.
Chief Brian Botwell sees these classes as an excellent opportunity for members of the VFD to better serve the community they're charged with protecting.
Well, today we're doing some assessments with the EMT program that we've partnership with Wiregrass to provide EMT course for Valdosta Fire Department and Moody Air Force Base Fire Department.
For more information on the partnership between Wiregrass and the Valdosta Fire Department, contact the Training Division at 229-259-5461. The recruits of Valdosta's Fire Department continued to train right up to their final test before their graduation. One of the last training exercises the recruits went through was dealing with fire caused by a pressurized container. The device used in the exercise is the same one built by VFD's own Sergeant Charles Jones and Sergeant Timothy Stubbs. For more information on this training exercise, I talked with Lieutenant Benny Kennedy of the Valdosta Fire Department.
What we're doing today is basically a pressurized container class. We're still in the learning phase at this point. We're going through a simulated pressurized container fire, techniques on how to handle it, working as a team, and just basically going through the safety issues of it and the techniques. Once they get this technique down, next Thursday we'll be testing. This is part of Firefighter 2 practicals, so the Firefighter 2 skills test will include doing this under test conditions, and at that time they'll be tested over their skills on dealing with a pressurized container. And once they're evaluated and they pass their skills test, then they will be MPQ Firefighter 2 level.
And just a little over a week after the pressurized tank simulation, the recruits of the VFD graduated to full-fledged firefighters, ready to protect the citizens of Valdosta. Congratulations to the newest members of the Valdosta Fire Department. And some of Valdosta's youngest citizens were recently honored for going through their own fire safety program. On April 7th, the VFD hosted its Junior Fire Marshals Banquet at Mathis Auditorium, recognizing outstanding student citizens and leaders. Multiple awards were given to attendees. The JFM School of the Year was awarded to Pinevale Elementary. The JFM Chairperson of the Year was given to both Danielle Gibbs and Jean Milley of Pinevale. And the Junior Fire Marshal of the Year was given to Timothy Rosser of J.L. Lomax Elementary for serving as an example of good behavior, good leadership, and of course, knowledge of fire safety. The Junior Fire Marshals program was designed to keep families safe by teaching fire safety to kids. For more details on the program, call 229-333-1836. And after the break, we'll tell you about city events you can look forward to in May. You're watching City Focus here on Metro 17.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
The month of May is recognized as Historic Preservation Month, giving Valdosta a chance to celebrate the preservation of its cultural and built heritage. James Horton, Valdosta's Historic Preservation and Special Projects Planner, tells us more about preservation here in the Azalea City.
Historic preservation is looking at old buildings that are 50 years old or older and deciding if they're important to preserve, to keep for future generations. And if we decide that they are important to keep for future generations, then we figure out ways to save those buildings, restore those buildings, rehabilitate those buildings, and keep them being used so that we have them saved and preserved for future generations. Historic Preservation Month was started in 1971 by the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and it's a way that America recognizes preserving our historic resources for the whole month of May of each year. And it's a way that Americans stop and get involved in historic preservation activities such as maybe cleanup days in historic neighborhoods, or painting historic buildings, or visiting museums, or joining a preservation organization, for instance. Valdosta has set up their own system for awards through the Historic Preservation Commission and the Historic Preservation Planner's position at the city, and we have several different awards that are given out each year. The deadline for the awards this year is this Friday, and we hope that people will get their applications in. If they're interested, they can call me or contact me at the City Hall here. But we have several wonderful categories that we give out the awards in. The first one is Outstanding Achievement, and that is for people that have taken a historic building and spent a lot of money on it and done a very large historic rehabilitation and have come out with a beautiful project that we want to recognize. The second category is Distinguished Merit, and that is for smaller projects that didn't cost so much, for smaller buildings, maybe for small downtown uses or for an individual homeowner or something like that. The third category is Stewardship, and that is a category where a person or a group of people have owned and maintained and preserved a historic resource for many, many years, say 20 years or more. And the fourth category is Excellence in New Construction, and that's for new buildings that are constructed within the historic district and how wonderfully they fit in and look like they belong with the historic district and contribute to the character of the area. And the final category is a Person Award, and that is the Harold M. Bennett Lifetime Achievement Award, and that is given to very special people here in the city of Valdosta who have been historic preservationists for many, many years and have had a lot of accomplishments in the field of historic preservation. So that's a very distinguished award that is given out to some very special people.
For more information on historic preservation in Valdosta, contact the Planning and Zoning Division at 229-259-3563. May presents multiple opportunities for citizens to experience art, music, and dining in downtown Valdosta. Main Street will be kicking off the month with its second Art Walk of the year. Main Street Valdosta and Historic Downtown Valdosta is combining the love for art in its second of 4 Art Walks planned for 2015. The Art Walk will be hosted on May 1st from 5 to 8 in the evening and will also feature a wine and beer tasting experience for $20. Participants of both the Art Walk and the wine and beer tasting will receive a passport to art, which can get stamped at each location you go to in downtown Valdosta. When you turn in your passport, you enter a chance to win a prize. For more information on the event, visit Valdosta Main Street's website, valdostamainstreet.com. Later in the month, Valdosta Main Street will be filling downtown with live music on May 11th with the Brown Bag Concert Series. The concerts will be from 11:30 to 1:30 in the afternoon from Monday, May 11th to Friday, May 15th. These daily concerts will take place on the lawn of the Lowndes County Courthouse, with lunches being sold by downtown Valdosta vendors. Be sure to bring your friends to this event to see what downtown Valdosta has to offer. For more information, contact the Valdosta Main Street office at 229-259-3577. And a few days after the Brown Bag concerts, Valdosta Farm Days will be back in action starting May 16th. From 9 in the morning to noon, downtown Valdosta will offer locally sourced produce, food items, and crafts from the surrounding areas. The event will be located at 100 West Central Avenue, right beside the historic courthouse. The event will coincide with Armed Forces Day, so military personnel are encouraged to attend and shop local. Farm Days will continue throughout the end of the year on select days. For more information on this event, including the complete schedule of 2015 market days, visit the Valdosta Main Street website, valdostamainstreet.com. That concludes this edition of City Focus. To watch this and previous episodes of the show, and to sign up for our weekly newsletter, visit our website at valdostacity.com/metro17. And make sure you keep up to date on everything going on in the city by following us on Twitter at City of Valdosta and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta. And stay connected to Metro 17, your source for news and information, to watch more great programming. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to you joining us next time here on City Focus.